Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Very good.
You're not on with the shock bridge yet, right?
Yeah, I'm about to start in a second.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, I should be able to join now.
Let me get out and then back in, I guess. It says continue. I don't know what that means.
And I'm going to share my Shark screen window, Shark Bridge window.
Having a little trouble here. Okay, I'm gonna back up, see if I can get out of that and then get back into my. Okay, here it is. This is the new shock bridge link. Hit that. Nickname. This is it. Not coming up.
I
Oh,
see
here it
you.
is. I got it.
Right.
good. So only this one in another week?
Yeah, I'll finish the third book of the Audrey Grant theory, and
Okay.
because going forward it's going to be more and more difficult for me to be at home on Tuesday.
Sure.
And I have to run the teaching session on my home computer, not the work computer.
Yep. That's too bad. So what will happen after that?
I know Rick will try to teach something with SharkBridge, but in terms of long-term plan, we might recycle the teaching session from the beginning, depending on if we have more newcomers. But
Okay.
beyond that, we haven't really talked about it.
And would that would still be, that would be in person?
If when they allow in-person
Yeah.
gathering, and if people feel comfortable, probably, but we're not sure yet at this point.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so how many are there in? There's Joe and Tracy.
And me and
Yeah.
you. I have to leave.
Let's just give them a minute to. I guess
Sure.
only Tracy, if she can get on SharkBridge.
Sorry, Tony, what'd you say?
Can you get on SharkBridge?
So I normally get an email from Brian, but I just,
He did.
Got
He
the
sent one
link.
now today.
he did?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see.
You did, I assume you're on there, but
I see it now. Let's see, is that right?
And I'm gonna paste the link in Zoom chat. The alternative.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I can't do it from my, hold on, let me,
I posted it in Zoom chat as well.
oh, okay. I'm on my iPad, so where is the chat?
No worries.
There we go. Okay, thank you. That was faster. And I don't need a partner, right?
Nope.
Okay. Got
All
it.
right, there you are.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So, as Brian mentioned in the email, this is the second last session on competitive bidding. And our first few exercises are when you're the advancer and what should you do in competitive bidding. So just as a reminder, as the advancer, your left-hand opponent opened the bidding, your partner competed, and it's your turn. So for this particular auction, West is the dealer and West bid 1 heart. And your partner North bid 1 spade. East passed, and what do you think you should bid as South? I guess before answering the question, I'm going to ask the question, what's North's shape and point range? As a reminder, a review.
North has to have 5 and at least 8 points.
Is there a maximum?
Maximum points, is that what you mean?
Right.
Well, I'm not sure.
So I think right now this is a good exercise. When you see any bid shows up, like ask yourself what's the required shape and what's the required point range, and point range being a minimum and possibly a maximum. For this 1 spade bid, yes, it's indeed promising 5 or more spades, 8 or more points, but there's a maximum of about 18. North cannot make this bid with a 19-point hand.
Okay.
So that actually factors in a lot into how you should bid. So now it's your turn, South. So, you know, with that range in mind, I guess the first question is, do you think the two of you belong in the game?
I don't know. It depends on if they're at the top of there or at the bottom. If they're at 8, then no.
So there's a chance that you two belong in the game. So that one is suggesting you definitely should not pass, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Don't pass. Yes.
And you like spade as the trump suit because you know he has at least 5 and you have 3.
Correct.
So what do you think South should bid at this point?
I think I should just bid 2 because I'm thinking, but I'm not sure if that's describing my point range correctly because I only have, let's see, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 high card points.
And if you count dummy points, how many do you have?
I have extras in my heart. So two extras are, I'm so
Wow.
sorry, I'm coming back from vacation, so I'm a little rusty.
Right, when you have a doubleton in dummy point, you get 1 more. So you have
Okay.
9 dummy points.
9,
And
okay.
indeed, 2 spade is the correct bid, saying I have pretty much exactly 3 card space support. And as much point as you normally would raise a 1 spade opening, about 6 to 9 points.
Okay,
You would raise it to 2 spades, and that still holds true in competitive bidding. Even though it's possible your partner North can have as few as 8 points, but based on law of total trump, you have at least 8 trump between the 2 of you, so it's safe to compete up to 2 level. And most notably, North, even if West pass, North still have a chance to bid. If North indeed have an 18-point hand, knowing that if you're at your maximum, you have a chance at the game, so North will not pass with the 18-point hand. North will try to find out a bid. But if he has anything less than that, he will probably be perfectly content to pass the 2 spade.
Mhm.
Everyone follow?
Yep,
Yeah.
So let's change up the bidding sequence a bit. What if East jumps in with a 2 heart?
I think your two spade is still okay.
Anybody else?
yeah, I think 2 spades. You're still at the same level, right?
Right, and what's our guideline of what level we are willing to compete?
Total tricks thing?
Right, so first of all, in this case, by point range, you're okay to pass because if North have a big hand, North might want to bid again because East bid it. You're not required to bid by the merit of your points, but you should compete because you have space support. When you have at least 8 space between the 2 of you, and especially true when the opponents are bidding hard, you should strive to compete in spade and by bidding 2 spades. So again, it's saying I have 3 card space support, about 6 to 9 points, and I will even bid it with fewer than 6. But with 8 high card points and 9 dummy points, this is a perfectly good 2 spade in competition,
Good.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What if East double? First of all, what does that double mean?
Double means, yes, the unbid suits. Right?
Can you be more
So
specific?
clubs and
Both in
diamonds.
terms of points. Again, it's a question of points and shape.
So I think he has a opening hand but he only has clubs and diamonds, no spades and hearts.
What kind of shape in clubs and diamonds?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be on.
5 each or 4, at least 4 each.
But yeah,
4
that's the question. What do you think?
4 each, sorry.
4 each is correct, but the point range, he can have as few as 8 points to make a negative double. So this is the double by responder is negative double. And what is there? So the minimum is 8. Is there an upper limit?
I would assume that same 18.
Any other thoughts? What's the upper limit on East strengths?
No limit?
There is no limit on negative double. You can double with 30 points, even though it's not practical given there's a 1 heart and 1 spade bid, but there's no upper limit on negative double.
Okay.
Right, so the East bid is saying 8 or more points, 4 in the minors, and it also implies no heart support. So what should South bid in this case?
I still think they should do their 2.
It's still 2 spades, nothing changed. So in competition, the number 1 priority is support partners, majors to trump. Like if you have support, you want to show it, and 2 spade is the bid, both telling your strengths and your lengths in spade. And it's also the level at which you're making your bid should follow the law of total trump. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what if East come in with a 3 heart? What do you think? First of all, the question is, what does that 3 heart mean?
I think it's a weak in points, but strong in number of hearts.
How many?
I think they have at least 4.
Any other thought?
Hmm. Well, if it's not 4, I'd guess 5, but
So the first part
Guess
is
5,
definitely
Joe,
correct.
and
East is showing a weak hand with hard support, and it's pretty much guaranteed East have exactly 4. Because if East has 5, East will jump to 4 hard in competition. And if East has 3, he will be 2 hard. So this 3 hard bid is showing a weak hand, probably about 5 high card points, and exactly 4 hearts.
Okay.
So with that in mind, what do you think South should bid?
That's promising that, I mean, that it's hopeful that it's leaving a little room that your north partner might have more. If I'm nervous that if you pass, that your north partner, if they had a lot of points, wouldn't know you had a fit in spades.
But West already opened,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So West is showing 13 or more. Let's say East has 5 points.
Yeah.
That make East West combined to be 18, and your North
Yeah.
South combined to be 22. 22 is not exactly a great situation to play a 3 spade.
Mm-hmm.
When your goal is to make it, because at this point, East West might be willing to play 3 hard as a sacrifice, but by you competing to 3 spade, your intention is to make 3 spades, because the alternative is defeat their 3 hard, which is entirely possible.
Mhm.
So this 3 hard put South in kind of a jam, because it's you kind of want to bid 3 spades, but you're not long enough in spade to do that. And you also have some strength, so you're not sure, but not if 3 spades is going to make or not.
Yeah, and
Right.
your spades are not amazing. I mean, you have the king, but that's it.
Exactly. So personally, I would probably go for it if I'm not vulnerable, but that's purely myself, my own preference, and my reason is my diamond is really good. But this is definitely a very borderline case, and it's definitely not wrong to pass. I think the textbook bid suggests you to pass. I'm myself slightly more aggressive. I will probably bid, but I'm definitely not very happy about a 3 spade bid.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
North
that's why East should be actively competing when you have a weak hand but long trump support.
and long term.
This gives South a hard question, because South is happily to compete up to 2 level, but South doesn't really want to bid 3 spade with this hand. Okay, and just to illustrate this point again, I'm going to change our hand ever so slightly. West open 1 hard. Partner North bid 1 spade. Now, if East compete 2 hard, what do you think South should bid?
3 spades.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah.
6.
I guess the first question then is how many dummy points does South have?
So you have 6 dummy points. Well, you have 6 high card points, but 9 dummy points. Is that right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I would say both
Mhm.
2 spades and 3 spades has its merit. And the reason being, so 3 spade is the bid that you will make based on law of total trump trick.
Mm-hmm.
However, because North have a range of 8 to 18, if North is at its maximum, because South having 9 dummy points, there's a chance that you can make a game. Slim, but not none. And this 3 spade bid pretty much shuts out that hope, saying I have a weak hand, but long spade support. I will only bid it with probably at most 5 high card points.
Yeah.
And maybe a little hand, little work. So if, like, for example, if my 4 of club, of my 4 of diamonds, it's a small heart instead. So my hand is a little flatter, make it a little weaker, then I will definitely bid 3 spade. But because this hand, you have a 5-4 your shape is 5-4, you will have a singleton in their suit. So your hand is better than its face value. And
Wow.
3 spades is more preemptive than constructive, saying I have 4 spades, I want to stop. Whereas two spades is promising 3 or more spade support. And if both West and North pass, then for you, it makes no difference playing 2 spades, making 3, or making 3 spades, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if North is a little stronger, you might have a chance to, jump in, so to speak, and explore the possibility. So I would say both 2 spades and 3 spades has its merit, 3 spades being the safer bid, because it's unlikely that you two have a game, although not impossible. And I would say this is more of my own take. Not everybody agrees with it. I think the textbook make is 3 spade, but I would say don't completely rule out the 2 spade.
Yeah, I think the benefit of the 3 spade is then West and East would have to jump to 4.
Right.
Mhm.
So I would say if East bid 3 hard, then you definitely make a 3 spade bid. But because East is showing a somewhat weakish hand by bidding too hard, you have, you might want to think about leaving the bid open.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 spade is definitely the more textbook bid.
Okay.
All right. So next example. In this hand, West open 1 heart, and your partner North double. East passes. So the first question is, can you pass?
No.
No,
No. You will only pass if you have like 8 clubs, which is possible because you can open 1 club. Sorry, no. I will only pass if I have like 7 hearts, because West is promising 5. So you cannot pass despite only having 1 point. And what should you bid?
I bid 1 spade.
You seem hesitant.
Well,
that or 2 diamonds on the.
you don't want to bid because you only have high card.
So is there any reason you prefer diamond over spades?
Well, you'd have to bid 2, right? So you don't want to bid, 2 diamonds. Only
Yeah.
1 you want to stay at.
Lowest possible, right?
Right. So when partner make a takeout double, you want to bid, first of all, so North is saying, I'm willing to play anything except heart. Bid your best of the 3 remaining suits. And of the 3 remaining suits, the major take much higher preference than minor. You much prefer playing major because of how scoring goes. So first of all, you're much willing to bid spade, even if spade is inferior quality than diamonds. In this case, they're the same length and better quality, so you should 100% bid 1 spade and not bother with the diamond at all. Okay.
Yep.
So let's change it up. What if after North takeout double, East come in with a 2 heart? So before proceed, what's the point range of that 2 heart?
We still.
Sorry, you're cutting out. I couldn't hear you.
That's because we're not. He still could have 6 to 8 points, right?
Yeah, it's still the same 6 to 9, 6 to 8 range. And what are East options if East has more than 10 points?
More than 10. He could go to.
Let's say instead of 2 heart, what if East bid 2 club? What's East point range?
Well, he's introducing a new suit, and he's gone a different level. So
I think because you're at the 2 level.
yeah,
So what do you think East's point range?
I think East is opening. I think you have to have opening points to bid at the 2 level.
So think about it. West opened.
Yeah.
North bidding a takeout double, showing effectively opening strength. While it's based on pure math, it's possible for East to also have an opening straight because you only have 1 point. But this 2 club does not promising opening point.
Okay.
So after an opening bid and a takeout double, a new suit by responder is first of all non-forcing, second of all fewer than 9 points. So this is a hand that was about like at most 8 points, but good 5+ club.
Gotcha. I'm
If East has
sorry.
10 or more points,
sorry. Sorry. I got you. I'm following.
if East has 10 or more points, East has to redouble. Any bid other than like there is a conventional 2 no trump bid by East saying good support and 10 or more points, but we're not going into it. Pretty much any bid by East, especially a new suit, is non-forcing and fewer than 10 points. If East has more than 10, he has to redouble. So go back to our original sequence. The 2 heart is again showing about 6 to 9 point and 3 card heart support. So what do you think South should bid, if anything?
Wow, I guess just again 2 spades only because you have 4 spades. Oh, it's you have no point, so I would be okay passing.
So this is a hand that because there's East, the responder bid something, respond didn't pass. As the advancer with a very weak hand, you are allowed to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Because if North has more than 20 points, which is possible, North has another bid.
Right.
So the difference with this with the previous one is whether East bid it or not. Okay.
Okay.
So next hand. So now you have a much better looking hand. West open 1 heart. You partner North double, and East competed with 2 heart. What do you think South should bid?
Wow. You should.
2 spades.
I would be tempted to go to game.
So
North
how many
said
points did North have?
North only had, well, that's where I'm always confused. To North to double, do they have to have opening points or just the 8?
Yes. Yes.
They have to have opening, right?
Or very close to. Like
Okay.
you know, one you will see people double with 11 points, but they definitely don't double with 8 points.
So he's got 12 to 18 or something.
12
no
is no
upper.
maximum.
No
Double
maximum.
has no maximum because North
Yeah.
can have a 30-point hand and his first bid has to be double.
I guess I mean, you don't want to do 2 because
8.
that's not
Oh.
representing your hand. You don't want to do 2 spades. That's saying you only
So I
have.
guess the first question is, what's North's point range and how many spades does North have?
North has 4 spades and like 12 plus
Right.
points.
So you should picture North having exactly 4 spades and around opening points. Maybe more, you know, once in a while North can have a monster hand, but you know, he has a chance to describe it again. But on average, North has about 13 points and 4 spades. And if he has 13, how many do you have?
You got
6 high card.
and 2 for
Mm-hmm.
dummy, 2 dummy
You
points.
count
So
dummy
8.
points?
What's that?
Should you count dummy points or declare points?
No, you should count declare points because you're
You
the
count
first.
declare point when you're the lone trump side.
Okay. So you got 1.
You got 1 more from lane, so you have 7 points. However, your queen of heart is likely not worth anything,
Right.
right? So you know, I would downgrade that queen for sure. So you know, I'll put me back down to maybe 6. If you have 6 and North have 13, do you have enough for game?
No.
No.
But you want to compete, right?
Yeah.
So I would say both 2 spades and 3 spades are both legit. The question is, if you don't think you have game, there's no real point to jump to 3 spades right away. Because if everybody happily passing, you much rather playing 2 spades making 3 than 3 spades worrying to get being defeated.
True.
So if you bid 2 spade and West come in with a 3 heart, then you have a chance to bid 3 spade again, saying I have more than that. And then also saying I have long spade.
Gotcha.
But if everybody passes, you're perfectly playing two spades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I think two spade is a little safer bid. And North would not imagine you having too much because remember, West opened, North have opening as well. That's 26 out of 40 points. East
Mhm.
have about 6 to 9, which means on average, you have about 8 points as well.
Mhm.
So North shouldn't expect too many points from South based on this bidding sequence. And North will only bid further if North has a very strong hand. But again, having said that, if East-West bid anything, you should be perfectly happy to compete off the 3 level.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
And just to illustrate that, if we change it, if East bids 3 heart, what do you think you should do?
3 spades.
3 spades.
Yeah, I would bid 3 spades.
Yeah.
However, I want to caution, this is against what the book suggests. The Audrey Grant book suggests you passing this point. I think that's nonsense. I think when you have 5 cards, good space support, opposing at least 4 on your partner, you should be happily compete 3 spades over their 3 hearts. Especially this 3 hearts should be a weak bid.
Yeah,
Your partner knows that if you had more points and that kind of spade support, you would just go to game.
Right. If you have like 10-ish, you will just go to game right away. And this
Yeah.
3 space should be long space support, but not that many points.
yeah.
Okay. So we're going to change up the rule a bit. This time you're the opener. You make an opening bid and eventually comes back to you. Let's see what you should do. So first of all, the question, what should you open with this hand?
We
I-
can,
Yeah,
We got no hand.
Oh, sorry, I'll put you on the, I need to put you north.
Hmm.
Of course. You're all on north. There we go.
okay.
Ooh.
1 diamond.
yeah,
Everyone agree? 14 high card points, no 5 card major. It's a classical textbook
One
1 diamond open. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now East bid 1 spade, and your partner sells double. So before any further, what does double mean?
That means 4 of
The
the
hearts and clubs.
hearts and clubs.
Hearts and club, most likely situation being 4 hearts and through, not necessarily 4 club, but probably you should picture yourself being very close to 4 hearts and close to 4 club. And how many points?
They only
West passes.
on their point range, do they just have to have 6?
6 or more.
No, negative double at the 1 level, the minimum strength is 8, and there is no maximum. So South can have anywhere from 8 to 20 points.
Right.
Okay.
So first of all, can you pass?
No,
No.
No.
So what you should bid?
hearts.
2 hearts.
2.
2
Yeah.
2
hearts.
hearts is saying I have 4 card heart support, potentially 5, but very unlikely. So, and about the minimum opening, which is what you have, 14 points.
Mhm.
So now I'm gonna, go off a tangent. What are the case if you indeed have 5 hearts? How many diamonds you have? So ignoring what your hand actually is, if this particular sequence North holding 5 hearts, how many diamonds does it require North to have?
Um, I'm not sure.
no, and could North have
North
4
is got
diamonds?
4 because he bid diamonds.
So
No, if you had 3, you have to have 4 because if you had 3, you would open clubs.
Yeah,
So again, don't look at your current hand.
oh,
If for North to respond 2 heart despite opening diamond first, what does that tell you about the length of diamond and heart?
Oh, that they're about equal.
No, diamond has to be longer. If they're equal, you open the higher ranking suit first, which is heart.
Well, they are equal. There's 4 and 4.
That's what I'm saying, like disregarding this hand. Like we're thinking of a hypothetical situation if North's responding 2 hearts, but actually having 5.
Oh, yeah, they would have opened, if they had 5, they would have opened hearts.
If there
So
are
they-
5-5 in hearts and diamond, they will have to open hearts. So the only case where you open 1 diamond and come back with a 2 heart is you're 6-5 in diamond and hearts, which is very, very unlikely. That's why from South's perspective, South should picture North having exactly 4 hearts based on this bidding sequence. Anyways, I'm going off a tangent, but this 2 heart bid is saying I have exactly 4 hearts and the minimum opening strength, which is what North have. Right? And honestly, this sequence says pretty much the same thing as this.
Mhm.
From North's perspective, you're doing the same thing. From the point range on South is slightly different, but not by that much.
If with the South just responding, they have to, is the minimum 6 or is it 8?
Correct. If it's an uncontested auction, this 1 heart bid is 6 or more points, 4 or more hearts.
Okay,
If there's a 1 space sandwich in between, this
Then it's-
double is again showing 4 more hearts, but a little higher, 8 or more points.
Okay.
But the 2 bidding sequences are functionally the same.
okay.
Okay, so let's look at the next hand. So first of all, what should you open as North?
Well, you're not supposed to open 1 no trump with 2 doubletons, right?
Correct. I will say in the real world, a lot of people would open 1 no trump with this hand, but let's say for the moment we stick to our textbook teaching. What should North open?
Okay. 1 diamond.
1 diamond, because this is not a you have 16 high card points, but this is not your classic 1 no trump shape. So you're bidding 1 diamond because you don't have a 5 card major. But yes, I completely agree. This hand, on most cases, works better if you open 1 no trump. But that's kind of beyond the scope of this course.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right. So let's say you open 1 diamond and East overcall 1 spade and South double. So the same meaning. South double is showing 4 more hearts, 8 or more points. What do you think North should bid?
Well, then we're like really close to game because we're
Yeah.
at 20 with their minimum of 8, right?
Right. So what do you think you should bid? To showing you have more than a minimum opener.
Well, if you jump, then if you jump to invite, that looks weak. So
No.
doesn't it?
Jump to invite is weak when you're the responder. When you're the opener, you're never weak because your opening bid showing you have at least 13 already. You can.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a weak bid by an opener.
Okay, then three hearts.
Yes, 3 heart is correct, saying that I have more than an opening strength. In which case I would just bid 2 heart like the previous hand. But in this hand I have 16. If you have little more than minimum, it's telling South to bid 4 heart that South have more than minimum, which is very likely because the minimum of a negative double is quite low. So you
what-
jump to 3 hearts when you have about 17 or so points.
okay. When would you say 4 hearts?
Let's look at it. When would you say 4 heart? You will say 4 heart was basically this hand. So again, we still have a 1 diamond bid, and this hand you definitely don't open 1 no trump because you're way too strong for that.
Yeah.
So
And
1 spade,
19
double, and how many points do you have if heart is strong?
27, right?
No. Yourself, North. How many points do you have if heart is strong?
19. Oh, if
20.
yeah,
Oh,
we don't
Oh,
have any
how many
opener points. So
Does North have? Is that what you're saying?
Right. If heart is trump, how many points does North have?
19
More than that.
or
20, Because you got the one for length,
Do you count dummy points or declare points?
declare.
You kind of get a double dip. You kind of, because you expect South to have 4. And when you have equal trump lengths on both sides, you get to double dip both declare point and dummy points.
Oh, then you have like 22.
You have 22. And we know South have at least 8,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you definitely have enough for game. And you do that by bidding 4 heart right away. So this 4 heart is not a weak bid.
Right.
And the South have to pass.
No, they could explore slam depending
Exactly,
on
because South can have 15, 20 points as far as we know, right? 20
Right.
being unlikely, but 15 is entirely possible.
But 4 no,
So a jump by declare is never weak. And just give the responder opportunity to explore slam when responder have more than minimum.
Okay.
And you will jump to game when you have about 20 points because the takeout double showing 8 or more.
mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's change it up again. This time, what should North open?
One heart.
Everyone agree?
Uh-huh.
A heart, because you have 12 high card point plus 1 for length, and you have 5 hearts, so you open 1 heart. And each comes in with a 1 spade.
Mhm.
Your partner sells 2 heart, pass. What do you think you should do?
Your partner has then 3 hearts and 6 to 9 points.
Could be fewer. But yes, definitely not more than 9.
So
So
you don't look like you got.
I think you pass. I mean, because like you say, why go to 3 hearts? You're not
Right.
gonna,
So you will definitely pass because both in terms of strengths and trump length, there's little incentive for you to bid anything else,
Mhm.
right? However, what if South bid 2 spade? What does that 2 spade mean?
5 hearts? I'm saying it with a question mark. I can never remember that one.
He's got a
Let's
lot of-
backtrack then. What does a 3 heart by South mean?
That's a week. That
a
means
lot of hearts, not many points.
How many hearts?
4.
4, and not many points. How about 4 hearts?
Means it could mean 3 hearts and a lot of points, or enough points to go to game.
So
Or-
I guess the first question, what does this 4 heart mean?
I think the easiest, most logical thing that it means is 3 heart support and like 12 or 13 points.
No, this 4 hearts mean 5 or more hearts,
Oh,
about 4 or 5 points. So any heart bid by South are weak bid.
Oh, right.
2 spade is only strong bid. What does 2 spade mean?
That means then you have more than 3 hearts. So
10
I think
points.
you have 5. Because you can bid, well, but it I guess it could mean 4 and you have a lot of points.
Any other suggestions? What does this 2 spade by South mean?
I thought it meant points and hearts.
How
No,
many points and how many hearts?
Doesn't mean opening points and 4 heart support or more. I don't know.
So this Q bid by South is a Q bid limit raise showing limit raise or better. A limit raise means 3 or more support or enough such that you combine to show 8 and 10 or more points. So this Q bid by South showing 3 or more hearts, 10 or more points. And it's 3 or more because the opening bid promising 5.
yeah,
Differentiated, if it were like this 2 spade means 4 or more diamonds, 10 or more points, because the opener only promising 4.
Gotcha.
So 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 spade, cubit limit raise showing 10 or more points, 0 more hearts. And what should Norse bid? Can Norse pass?
No,
Oh,
You don't want, you're not playing spade, you're playing hearts. So how many, so what should Norse bid?
oh, based on this hand.
hmm.
Um,
You're
doesn't
right.
look Like, doesn't look like enough for game.
Well, South have an unlimited upper end. It's 10 or more.
So
Yeah, so you want to keep moving it up.
3
And how
hearts.
do you do that? Remember, we cannot pass.
Right, 3 hearts.
3 hearts, saying, okay, I know partner, I know you have 10 or more, but I have a bare minimum opening by
Mhm.
bidding your original suit at the lowest possible level.
Yeah.
Saying I have a minimum opener. If you have more than 10, by all means, otherwise I'm happy to play 3 hearts.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's limit raise, right?
That 2 spade by South is a Q bid limit raise. It's Q bidding opponent's suit.
Q bid limit, okay. Partner suit.
So I would say some of the most important convention are negative double, Q bid limit raise, and all the stuff that after 1-0 Trump Open, like Stamen, Jacoby transfer, and all that stuff. So I would say if you remember Stamen, Jacoby transfer, Q bid limit raise, and negative double. That's sort of the essential and very, very important convention for our standard American bidding system.
Negative double, Q limit raises, Stamen and Jacoby
Jacoby transfer.
transfer.
So those, the latter 2 are after a 1-0 Trump Open.
Yep,
Which we covered like months ago.
Yeah.
But totally forgotten it all.
Anyways,
So
moving on.
those are the 4.
I will say those are the bare minimum in terms of convention, by which we mean they're non-natural bid. You should definitely memorize all the detail of those conventions. What do they mean? And try to make sure to remember all the bit of it.
Right.
Like for instance, when we talk about Q bid limit raise, you open 1 heart, 2 spade, 1 spade. There's 2 spades to Q bid limit raise. You need to remember what's the shape and strength it promises.
Okay, so so this, in that case, again, like we said, 3 hearts because you opened with 5.
3
then-
or more hearts. South could have 5 hearts for all we know.
Mhm.
And how many points?
10 or more.
10 or more. And how many points do you have?
Do you have at least 13?
Well, in this case, how many do you
Well,
have?
Oh, sorry.
14.
15.
17. So again, are you declarer? Or
You count the clear point if you think you're the long trump side. Do you think you're the long trump side?
I do.
You do.
Well, they
So
have-
how many points do you have?
I think we,
They
not,
had to have 5 to bid 1 heart, didn't they?
yeah,
Well, even though technically
Oh,
South
fourth is
can
me.
have
Okay.
5 or 6 hearts, it's highly unlikely for that to be the case. It's much likely South only has 3 or 4, right?
Right.
Okay,
So
yeah.
in, I would say 95% of the case, North has the long trump. And you should count the clear point, which is how many?
1.
So
Right.
total, how many total?
15.
15, right? And North is and South is promising how many?
10 points
10 or
10.
more.
or more.
Or more. So what do you think you should bid as North?
4 hearts.
So we got 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
25 is technically not enough for 4 hearts.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would bid 4 heart anyways because South is 10 or more. Anything more push us over. Like unless South have absolutely the worst hand you can think of, you probably make 4 heart.
is 26 what you're supposed to have to go to game? I always say 25, but it's 26.
26 is what you should have for a major suit game at the 4
Okay.
at 4 level. And I'm gonna throw my cat out. My cat wants a drink. Anyways. So I would say 3 heart is being conservative, but not unreasonable. 4 heart is probably what I prefer to bid. Expecting to make, except South having the worst possible hand.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next deal. This will be the second to last.
Okay.
So again, you have the same hand. So you open 1 heart,
Mm-hmm.
East double, and South bids 3 heart. So we talked about it briefly. What does that 3 heart mean?
Means he's got 4 hearts and not many points,
That will be correct. And what's the upper limit in terms of points?
like 6.
Oh, you can be a little bit more generous than that.
All
I would
right,
say 6 card point is correct.
Yeah.
But
Say-
realistically, when counting dummy points, because when you have a 4 card heart support, there's a good chance you have a short somewhere. I would say South should have no more than 9 dummy points.
Okay.
And 6 high card point is about correct. So what do you think North should bid?
Pass.
Pass.
Pass. Because South definitely doesn't have 10. And you
Right.
have 15 counting all your bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
So after takeout double, a raise of the same suit, well, or a new suit by responder is non-forcing, and North just can judge it, knowing that South have fewer than 10 points. Again, just a reminder, for South to have more than 10 points, South only have 2 options, either redouble or 2-no trump. And 2-no trump is a convention. Any other bid by South is saying I have at most 9 points.
What's that 2-no mean?
2-no trump is a 4, if you play it, means 4 card limit raise. 10 or more points, 4 or more hearts. Very, very specific. It's showing very strong support for the opening.
Okay.
Even if you have 10 points, only 3 cards support, you will redouble. All right. So this is our last hand of the day. We're gonna go through a couple of iterations of it. So I guess first of all, what's the opening bid by Norse?
1 club.
Any other thoughts?
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess 1 club.
1 club, because you don't have a balanced hand, you don't have 5 card majors, and you have way too many points to pass.
Yep.
And you have a single to diamond, so there's only leave 1 choice, 1 club. You bid 1 club, East bids 2 diamonds. I guess the first question is, what's the point range and shape of East?
So 1
So-
diamond or 2 diamonds?
1 diamond.
Okay.
He has 5 diamonds and at least 8 points.
Upper limit? So as you always ask the most question, what's the lower limit and if there is an upper limit?
I guess 18.
8 to 18, 5 or more diamonds. Your partner South passed and West bid 2 diamonds. And it's back to you. What do you think you should bid?
I think you should double.
And what would that double show?
That you have hearts and spades
And what kind of strengths?
and better than opening points.
That would be correct. This double showing, so currently there are 2 suits being bid, club and diamond. This double showing of the 2 remaining unbid suits, which are the majors, I'm willing to play either of them as long as you have a 4 card support.
Mhm.
And you have, because South initially passes, this double requires North to have no significantly higher than the minimum opening. In this particular hand, North have 19 high card points. And and more than that, if anything other than diamond being the trump suit, right? Because you actually don't need a whole lot from South to make a game in either majors.
Mm-hmm.
Like a jack high 4 card support in both majors, you probably make game. anyways, but that's what this double mean. East-west bid one suit, you initially open one. On your second chance, you double to show willingness to play the two remaining unbid suit. And if they are major, they have to be 4-4, which also tells you a lot, tells your partner a lot about your initial shape because you open one club first.
Yeah.
And again, and also further, this double shows a very strong hand. So just for the thought exercise,
Hmm,
can you bid the sequence when you have 4-4 majors, 3 clubs, and 2 diamonds?
If you had a stopper in diamonds, you could bid no trump.
If you have a stopper, and because of that, what does that tell you about? So what does that tell you about shape and strengths? If you have 4-4-3-2, and you're bidding this sequence, what does that tell you about your strengths and shape?
Say that one more time. What does it say?
Okay, let me rephrase that better.
Okay.
So you bid one club, so the bidding sequence is exactly like this, but instead of being 4-4-4-1, you have 4-4, 2 diamonds, and 3 club. What does that tell you about your high card point as well as how they're situationed? Where are the high card points?
I think if you bid 2 no trumps, it says you have 18 to 19 points and a stopper in diamonds.
And I would agree.
okay.
18 to 19, yes, I would agree, yes. And a stopper in diamond. Because you didn't do saying I do not have a stopper in diamond, we're definitely not playing majors. And further, you cannot really do it with your normal 1 note, because you cannot have why can you not have 17 points if it were this sequence?
Because when you that 2 no trump specifically says 18 to 19 points. That's the
Not so
Right.
much about that. Is if you have 15 or 17, you will open with a no trump.
what? Well, right. But when your second bid is no trump, doesn't that mean you have 18 to 19 points? Isn't that way to signal?
No, because this time you're not jumping.
Oh, that's
The
true.
opponent already pushed you a 2 level. So
Okay.
this will be different than one
Right.
diamond pass. So what does 1 no trump and what does 2 no trump mean?
Well, I think here, this is where 2 no trump says 18 to 19.
Nope,
Nope.
nope.
Ah,
What you gonna do if you have 15 to 17?
I would say, oh, I don't know, because then you're just one.
If you have 15 to 17, you will open 1 no trump.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
but in
So in this case, because you didn't open 1 no trump, a 1 no trump bid here showing 18 to 19.
okay,
And a 2 no trump is showing the next higher, a normal 2 no trump open 20 to 21.
20 to 22, 20 to 21. Okay.
But to simplify things, this 2 no trump will probably be 18 to 19 and diamond well stopped. But for this particular hand, you should be double asking south to pick a major.
Okay.
Okay, and that will be it for today's session. There are one last session, hopefully next week, unless some work-related stuff show up. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day.
Okay.
Bye, guys.